Alright, so this is gonna be a tutorial regarding prepping the scene for chopping it up into parts and pieces in order to bring it into After Effects to do the 3D parallax camera movement, zooming in and out left and right. So yeah, this is a original student's work that I'm using as a source file. In here is the original stuff, right? And it's coming along. It's just that for me right now, it's just better for me to start from ground floor up, because to dig through each layer and kind of go through things, it kind of messes with your head because you're thinking of multiple things, because there's a lot of parts and pieces with other names going on. It just makes it easier for me. So yeah, anyway, so this is the file, and right now it's a little bit bigger than the size of a 4K, meaning 4K is the width is 3,840 pixels and the height would be 2,160, but this actual image was kind of bigger than that, right? It extended outward right now. And right now this canvas is the right size, so I scaled it back, meaning the canvas, not the image but the canvas, the original image is intact, but the canvas is brought back down to 3,840 by 2,160 pixels. Alright, so I'm just explaining the situation in case hopefully there will be other students watching this as well. So I just want to explain the scenario, and starting from ground zero basically. And again, this image is actually a little bit larger. I think there was a mistype or a typo when it was enlarged, because I double checked it, and when this was enlarged image size, wait, I can't grab it. Anyway, just I don't want to go on a rambling. So here it is, right? And what I need to do is I want to extend out the outer areas due to parallax. I talked about it before and I've shown examples. Right, so what I'm going to do is right now the current size is the right size, not the blue lines, but just this composition, right? But I need to go in image, canvas size, not image size but canvas size. So here's the canvas, it's the right size right now currently. I'm going to change it to percent, right? I'm going to set this to, I don't know, 150 by 150 outward. So it's going to be about this much wider, that much wider all over. I think around there, hit OK. So that's how much chunkier it's going to get all around. And when the camera in After Effects moves left to right, up or down, it'll fill in this area, extending around the borders of my 4K image. So this was a 4K composition, and the camera moves. Let's just pretend that this is After Effects. See, when it moves like that, this part will be filled in. This part will be filled in. Just playing, very pretend that this is After Effects. So that's what I'm just explaining. So then I need to fill in the area. Here's the Master Chief Original. I'm gonna name it Master Chief in Halo Picnic Original, right? Just to give it a name. I'm gonna select it, holding Control, and then left clicking in this little icon over there, which is the Smart Object. Right, so I selected this, but I want to select the outside, not the inside, because I want to do a generative fill. if I do a generative fill off of this, it's gonna change the inside. So to select the inverse, I hold Control Shift and then I click on the letter I. That will grab the inverse outer framing. Then I'm gonna do generative fill, and then when I did that, I'm just gonna press generate here. I'm not gonna type anything, I'm just gonna press generate. It's processing. Bit of time. I'm gonna pause the video for a bit, and I just restarted it, and here you can see it looks pretty darn nice, right? Amazing what AI can do, right? And I love the fact that how it's being framed like this. The reason why I like it is because of the fact that it adds you know, like its own sense of a vignette effect, and kind of frames the picture very nicely. The foliage, dark foliage, a lot of contrast between lights and darks. And also I have the boulder here, I have another boulder here, so a lot to work with. I can zoom in like this to imagine maybe the composition in After Effects. The cameras would be up close like this maybe, you know, and then it kind of pans out, boom, until we see this. So that's basically the premise. So this is the generative fill, right? This is the original. This is the generative fill. I'm gonna go grab this and this, and what I want to do is just make a copy of both of it, because always have a backup. Control C as in Charlie, and then I'm gonna press Control Shift V as in Victor, so it made a literal copy of it right on top when I did Control Shift and V as in Victor. So I'm gonna grab these, and I'm gonna click on the folder and I'll dump it into that folder. Then I'm gonna name it Originals Backup. Then I'm gonna lock it by pressing Control, pressing and holding Control and pressing the question mark icon. Locks it. I'm gonna then hide it. Then I'm gonna grab my generative fill, right? That filled it in, as you can see. Then also Master Chief and Halo Picnic Original. Grab both of them. You know what? Let me copy the name of this, or at least copy Master Chief and Halo Picnic. I'm gonna grab generative fill. Also grab the Master Chief and Halo by pressing Shift and left clicking it together. Then I'm gonna press Control E as in Edward to flatten it down, and I'm gonna double click, and I'm gonna paste the name that I had copied previously, Master Chief and Halo Picnic. Press enter, boom. So that, and then from there I'm going to go and make a copy of this. Control C, Control Shift V as in Victor, right? I'm gonna hide this because I just want to always have a backup regardless. And then from here I'm gonna work with this. What I'm gonna do is start picking apart things. I'm gonna use this fourth tool, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the selection tool. I'm gonna left click and hold. I'm gonna choose the one that's object selection tool, this one. And right now it's not letting me click anything because I need to select the layer first. Then the magic begins. I'm gonna select that, and then probably what else think. I'm also select I'm hovering. I selected that. If I move out of the way, see, it doesn't turn pink. If I hover into it, it turns pink. It's just the way it behaves. Then I'm gonna hover over here As you can see, it's trying to grab things, which is great. I'm gonna hold shift, that turns the cursor into a plus sign. So it's gonna add, in addition to this, it's gonna add this. I'm gonna hold shift and grab that. Then I'm gonna hover over here. I'm gonna hold shift and I'm gonna left click as well to grab that. But I left behind some of these. I don't know why, it just did. And I left behind some of this, right? And I also want to grab the picnic floor. Looks like I didn't grab this, so I need to grab that too. So shift and left click, shift, left click, shift, left click, shift and left click, shift and left click. I don't know why I didn't grab it, but whatever. I also want to grab that. So I'm holding shift and I'm marquee dragging, right? Hopefully it'll grab that too. If I'm not mistaken, it should grab it. Yeah, it did. See, it's gone. Meaning that it grabbed it. So any of this stuff like here, shift, drag, it grabbed it. But then it left behind this crap. So it does stupid things like this. Anyway, so it does this and I'm getting annoyed already. So what I'm going to do is, in order to make sure I grab all of this, I'm going to click in here. Now I'm going to click the third one, the lasso tool. I'm going to click and hold. I'm going to choose a selection brush tool. As you can see, now it changes. It's a different type of a selection method, which is everything selected from previously while using the object selection tool, right? Whatever the object selection tool had selected, right, it now turns Pepto-Bismol pink because of this tool, which I'm at now, the selection brush tool. So the whole point is that I want to make, this is a brush, like a selection brush. So anything that is normal color, I want to select it by brushing in the Pepto-Bismol pink. So this brush right here, I use the right bracket to make it bigger, or the left bracket to make it smaller. Right now it's set to add. I'm gonna just color over it. I'm gonna color. Use left bracket to make the brush smaller. I'm gonna make sure I color. Certain areas around these edges were not caught, so I have to go back in and do this. I don't know why it does this, but for whatever reason it does. See right here, even over here, even over here, make the brush smaller with the left bracket. And I'm going to explain why I selected these in a moment. Right here too, because if I don't select these, it's gonna leave behind a hole. That's not gonna make sense. Maybe some of this part I missed, so I want to make sure I grab it. This part here I missed, so I want to make sure I grab it. Like here too, I don't know why, it's just stupid like that. Color it in. This part here where it kept on not grabbing it previously, so I'm gonna color it in. This part, color it in, color it in. This part too, color it in. All this crap, color it in. This part here, I don't like how it's making jaggedy lines. Color it in. This part, I'm just gonna make it smooth. It's not necessary, but it might not be necessary, but I just see it, so I'm gonna just touch it up. This part looks a little funky because the line, it's not filling in. I think it's because it's a bright spot and it just thinks it's the sky, perhaps. I don't know. I don't know, something like that, like that. Over here too, just seems off. Alright, so that looks like nearly everything. See? Just little touch-ups. I think also for the previous the original student, I'm gonna bring back in some of the work that you did, right? Like the lake and the blowing leaves and stuff. So, you know, basically not to have my student redo some of the work, right? So that they don't get upset. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that and that. And like the sandwich I didn't catch either, so I'm gonna just color it in, 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 color it in. I don't know why I didn't catch this. If I go here and then let's say I go back to my object selection tool, right? See how it colored it in this much from the I call it the Pepto-Bismol selection brush that I just used. So going back to this one, the object selection, I'm thinking, what if I hold shift and I do a box selection? Yes, it grabbed it. Hold shift, do a box selection, and it grabbed it this time around, except for this one. I don't know why it does this. It irks the... Yeah, it's not grabbing it. So it grabbed only a certain amount. So I'm gonna go back in here to the selection brush, go back in, color that in to select it. It's just, I don't know, technical glitch or something. That. So like that. Color this in. Color this in. Go back over here. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I'm going to explain why I'm selecting all of this. So overall it's a good selection. Damn it. Freaking color that in, man. Gotta color that in, make the brush smaller. Color that in. And over here too. Color that in. Gotta color this in. I won't color that in too. Around here, so it left behind certain areas, some edges. I don't know why. It just did. It does. This part looks a little, shouldn't be colored in. So instead of add right here, I'm going to choose subtract. This is regarding the third tool, which is the selection brush tool. Set it to subtract. It's going to take away. No. Yeah, so here, set to subtract. I'm gonna make the brush smaller. Left bracket. I'm gonna start chipping away. And then the brush hardness is at 50%, which is this guy right there. Right. That guy right there. For this tool. That way I don't have hard chiseled selections, but with at least some feathering.